Hello, this is live from the gardens of Animorphs podcast.
And a psychosexual experience about animals.
Also a psychosexual experience, a smooth intro overall. We're going to be talking about Animorphs number 3, The Encounter. Tobias is the narrator for this one. And it's a bit odd because Tobias can't morph. So I'm going to be talking about, surprise, surprise, the red-tailed hawk. And I'll also touch on the wolf as well, because that was pretty well featured. Ow. I was going to do trout, but it's like, God, who cares about trout, really? I mean,
no one cares.
Exactly.
All you need to know about trout is that you can eat them with tartar sauce and lemon, which is what the kids talk about all the time in the book while they're trout.
Is this a self-vor fantasy
It's
now?
a self-vor fantasy.
Our third encounter with vor.
It's, book 3, third encounter with Vor. That's why live from the gardens, it used to be like, how to be a good morph. And it's actually just how to get off on animal fucking. Anyway,
no, it's how to accurately fuck so Yeerks don't know that you're an Andalite.
Accurately animal fuck so that Yeerks don't catch you as an Andalite bandit. Anyway,
exactly.
Let's do some intros.
Because they're all watching YouTube videos, and as soon as they see an animal having sex, they're like, Andalite bandit, definitely. He didn't even lock the dick nut inside the other dog.
These dogs didn't swing around and be butt to butt. They're fake.
Okay. Let's talk about red-tailed hawks.
Fake.
Let's talk about red-tailed hawks.
First we gotta do an intro. Say it. Tell us your name, dude.
Oh, that's right. I am Mikhail, the host.
I am Tessa, the only one who does not get off on animal fucking.
Okay.
And I am Brayden, the only one who gets off exclusively to animal fucking.
He watches human fucking so that he knows how to do it. That's it.
I am reporting you to the SPCA.
Give it a try. I'll just suck them all off. And get away with it.
You try reporting him to PETA, he's gonna show up as like the next campaign manager. Save animals by fucking them.
Oh my God, red-tailed hawks. Let's talk about hawks. Okay, so as far as where they live all over, so it's not helpful. They live anywhere from Alaska all the way down into the West Indies, like Central and Southern America.
Are they typically just on the west side of North America, or like all over?
No,
all over?
This is the crazy part. So, in as much as I thought as a kid, just from reading Animorphs, that hawks lived in forests, apparently they can live in grasslands, deserts, forests, fields, like farmers' fields, and cities.
The shit out of all climes of the earth. Yeah,
they can live in cities, dog. So, like, I feel like Tobias is fine. Other than that, there's not too much interesting about like where they live. They're just kind of all over the place. It's the same situation with the dog. I don't know. What is it that you guys want to talk about? I feel like the vision thing is pretty prominent.
Vision is big, but how about we change it up and we start with the damn dirty fucking. How do hawks bone, Mikhail?
It's actually not as bad as you'd think for things with like huge talons. They do kind of like a dance, or rather the male does like a dance. So they call it aerial displays, but he'll do like dives and then big dramatic climbs and then dives.
And he's just spraying sperm everywhere, hoping.
No. This is a mating dance, which birds do a lot apparently. A lot of birds do.
Oh yeah.
I
love that shit.
We've seen the YouTube videos.
But they sometimes, like, I don't know if sometimes or all the time, I'm a little unclear on that, but they'll do it together, and sometimes they'll even hold hands, like briefly.
Oh, they'll lock like talons.
Yeah. It can last
cute.
like up like 10 minutes or even more than 10 minutes sometimes. But what'll happen is it says copulation often follows courtship flight sequences, meaning they fuck after the dance.
As all good proms happen.
Although often copulation occurs in the absence of courtship flights. So the dance seems nice, but sometimes it's just like straight to fucking. As far as the literal fucking goes, the female will perch and will like tilt forward kind of. So remember, birds have cloacas, not penises, right? The male will actually land with his feet on her back, and I'm not clear if he like digs into her back, but he lands on her. Hi guys, this is Mikhail, your host and editor, and for the next 30 seconds I couldn't hear what was going on Brayden's end because he was covering the microphone. And Brayden, if you're listening to this, I hope your parents are too. And then the female twists around and like pushes her feathers aside and the male will actually like, the wording was, the male will twist his cloacal opening around the female's cloaca. It lasts about 10 seconds. So, Brayden, you can relate, I'm sure. And during, it happens like numerous times a day. Yeah. But the nice part is that often they mate for life. And it's only one partner.
Good.
That's good. Good. That's what all
it's
animals
a good finish.
should do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's God's way. That's why Noah only saved 2 of them.
That's been Tessa's Bible Minute. Yeah, so it's not like wildly interesting, but it's kind of cool. I mean, if you ever see 2 birds kind of dancing, in the air, that might be some foreplay.
Very good.
I did look up like what they eat just to see what it is Tobias may or may not be snacking on. He does eat fish, so I guess it's not that out of the ordinary to have seen a hawk carrying a fish like they did in the book.
Yeah.
But I mean, to carry like fish after fish after fish and drop it in the water, I mean, that's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
They do also eat other birds.
Yeah, like small ones, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they fuck the shit out of those birds with their fuckers, their raptor teeth.
Although I read sometimes they'll eat animals that are like heavier than they are. Well, I mean, I guess most animals probably would be because they're pretty light, but like rabbits or like small raccoons or something.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot you can't get away with killing in the animal kingdom if you got a big enough beak.
Got a big beak.
One thing I found interesting was that I didn't know this at all, actually, but apparently birds can't really smell at all.
Yeah, no, they don't really have a sense of smell, from what I know. They don't have nostrils, really.
I mean, they have those 2 little holes, but I guess they don't work very well. I don't know.
It's just
But
for
it
aesthetic.
said online that some people are starting to think that hawks specifically might actually be able to smell a bit.
Oh,
Yeah, although I couldn't find any reasoning why.
That's pretty neat.
I mean, like, they have, like, little nostrils on the end of their beakers.
Yeah, totally.
Talked about this.
So why wouldn't they, is what I was going to say.
Why wouldn't they?
They have...
Well, like, why do we have appendices, right? They don't do anything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. The last thing, and just because I feel like I have to talk about the vision a bit, because Tobias is always going on about it.
And they bring it up every time a kid morphs a bird later on. They bring up how good their bird vision is. How good is it, Mikhail? Is it as good as they say?
So, I mean, the only really interesting thing that isn't already talked about in Animorphs, like, obviously they can see really far, they can see detail really far. They have, they can see the ultraviolet range.
Instead of eyes?
No, but they can see like, so I'll be honest, I don't totally understand what that means, although I know that we as humans cannot.
It's essentially like
heat vision?
Like other colors.
It's like, they can see other colors.
It just means like I think you can we as humans sometimes use ultraviolet rays to like reveal, because like ultraviolet rays bounce off solid objects in ways that we won't, because like we can use a light that does have ultraviolet rays in it, but then we won't see it when it bounces back because we can't.
Right.
And it's like that's what people use when they're like swiping a blue light to find like crime scene blood, because it'll like bounce off particulates, but we won't see it. We'll just see a white void because no color is coming back to our eyes.
Okay, so it's possible that Tobias can see colors that he literally just cannot describe to humans. Okay.
Like a super purple.
Super purple, yeah.
Or like a blue yellow.
You know what I saw a long time ago on the internet? That there's a test you can do. It's like a trick, kind of.
Oh, yeah, I've seen of this, yeah.
You stare at a circle that's a certain color, and then it'll, like, pop out or something into a different color, or there's two different circles, 2 different colors. But basically, the idea is to be able to, like, show you a color that you couldn't see by tricking your brain.
Yeah.
And it's called like superteal or something like that.
Yep. No, I've definitely heard this too, and I've done
It's
the trick.
cool.
Yeah, where you look
It's
and
very
you try
neat.
to get the superest teal ever, or at least the best teal you've ever seen on a computer screen.
That's it, the computer screen. Let's move on though, just because we're pushing it for time.
Oh.
We're going to talk about the wolf, and interestingly, there's
The sexiest of animals.
scientists have sort of agreed at this point that there's really only one species of wolf in the Americas. Well, in North America, anyways.
Yeah.
It's called the gray wolf. There were thoughts that there were other wolves, but it turns out that a lot of them are actually just like coyotes or gray wolf subspecies that like mated with other canines. But again, they're all over North America, like anywhere from, again, Alaska all the way down to the desert, right?
Yeah. No, they can live
Not helpful
anywhere.
for us. Yeah. I did find something kind of funny, which was that the Wikipedia article specifically mentions moose as being a prey for wolves.
Oh, yeah.
And because they mentioned it like 2 times in the book, like, oh, I really want to kill a moose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do that. That's funny.
But on the tail end of that, it's kind of cool that they've figured out through just like analyzing statistics and stuff that oftentimes the ideal size of the prey is the combined weight of the social pack.
Of the whole pack.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of cool, though. I mean, like, I assume it's all based on instinct, but it's still interesting that it worked out that way. They have been found to eat each other. It's not out of the ordinary for wolves to eat other wolves outside the pack. There is a lot of interesting stuff about howling. I don't know how much you guys want to get into it. There's a lot of science behind it. Probably the most interesting thing about it is just the range. So they've said that in the right conditions, a wolf's howl can be heard over a 50 square mile area.
That's awesome.
That's like 130 square kilometers, I think. It's a lot. That's really far. Beyond that, though, like urine marking, pretty normal. Oftentimes they'll dig in the dirt after they pee because they actually give off a scent from their paws as well as the pee.
Wow. What sort of scent? Like a musky?
And apparently only the dominant
you wanna
wolves are allowed to use the the leg lift pee, and the subdominant ones will always do the crouch pee.
Well, and I also remember reading that scientists are still figuring out exactly how wolf social structures work.
Yes.
Like they have a bit of a better idea, but there's so much misinformation about like exactly how large our pack sizes. Are there like an alpha male and then a bunch of sub people, or is it like an alpha?
Well, the thing
pair
about the
with mom and dad?
the alpha male, alpha female, and then like beta, omega, on and on is it's completely based on observations of wolves in captivity.
It's
People have
specifically
tried
one
to put
captivity
that
in the 70s.
on. The reason there's so much confusion is they've tried to put that onto wolves in the wild and not seen the same patterns and been like, oh gosh, I guess they must have a slightly more complex. It's mostly just family structures.
Yeah, because
Like an elder male will take the lead, and then there won't be. It'll just be like sort of a family structure rather than
and then there's the mating pair who are in charge.
Apparently, some of the highest ranks have more to do with their ability to reproduce. So it's not that like only one wolf can be the boss. It's just that if he reproduces with healthier pups, more pups, and they live longer, they often get a higher social status, which makes perfect sense if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
It's not about
evolutionarily.
it's not about who's the strongest.
killing
It's
more
about who has the
wolves.
best genes.
Yeah.
It's about who's producing more wolves.
The only cool thing I found about mating, which, again, if you want to hear about dog fucking, listen to the first Live from the Gardens. But they have found gay wolves. So it says oftentimes higher up male wolves will mount each other when females are in heat.
They just get off on the smell and then mount each other. Just like gay humans.
Is it, though? Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure that's not a thing.
I don't think that's right.
I'm pretty
but
sure
I can't
that just
comment.
we can't put this on iTunes anymore because that's a homophobic statement.
That was Bible Minute number 2.
Bible minute number a billion.
This has been Live from the Gardens. We were talking about Animorphs number 3, The Encounter. My name is Mikhail. I'm the host.
My name is Tessa, the expert.
And I am Brayden, a baby bird ready to fly.
We will see you next week when we talk about Animorphs number 4, The Message. If you'd like to correct or clarify any of the poorly researched animal facts in this episode of Live from the Gardens, feel free to contact us on SoundCloud, Facebook, or Twitter by searching for Animorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. And remember, stay safe, stay hidden. Brought to you by
Collective Legacy,
a podcast network.